video today to talk about why the 65 Impala is the best year Impala. I've had 3 different years Impala and I liked them all. I had a 63 Super Sport with a 327 Power Glide, and I had a 66 Impala base model with a 283 3-speed on the column, and that was my high school car, and I really liked that car. It's what got me interested in Impalas and got me to like them for a lifetime, I guess. I went several years that I didn't have any Impalas or any other old cars. Impala's the only old car I've ever had. I've been hooked on them since I was a teenager. But when I got ready to buy me a project, 65 is what came to mind. I had never had one, but I just really liked all the body style features and a lot of other things about 65. Now I'm going to tell you why 65 is my favorite year and why it's the best year Impala. First of all, we'll talk about the profile of the car. This is the side profile of 65 Impala. To me, it is just a really great design. If you look at the way the roof is shaped, a lot of other cars in the muscle car era copied it. I mean, when I see this 65 Impala, I see, you know, the GTO, Chevelle, Chargers. A lot of them kind of copied the roof line of the 65 Impala. You know, this was the first year of this body style that kind of became the muscle car era. If you look at the front end of the 65 Impala from the side, it has a different profile than the 66, and it kind of comes to a point. I personally think it's a better looking design. I like a 66 also, but I like the 65. But at the back of the car, you see the black trim that's on the back of the rear quarter panel. That is also something that a lot of muscle cars had after this. And I know that there was other cars that had this also. I believe the Chevelle had it. But prior to this, you know, the Impalas had all aluminum trim. They had the machine marks, which is cool also. The machine turned aluminum that was on the back of the SS's in 62, 3, and 4. But like I said, I think the side profile is one of the best views of this car. Now, the rear view of the 65 Impala is probably the main reason that I picked the 65 when I got ready to get me a new one. The round tail lights were carried over all the way from 58. 59 is the only year in between 58 and 65 that didn't have the round tail lights. And I think the round tail lights are really, they're just a symbol of what Impala was. And a lot of people, I think, agree with me on that. I've heard a lot of comments. But you see the black trim at the bottom there? That was SS only. And like I said, that's one of the things that got carried over into a lot of SS Chevrolets. Then we got the front view of the 65. To me, it's just a great design, very clean looking. You can see on my car, I have the optional bumper guards. A lot of cars didn't have those. I think they really add to the design of the front end. You can see the Super Sports come with the Impala SS script in the grille. And they did it in kind of a mid-60s way, very discreet and sleek. But if you look at the bumper guards, they come down and kind of guard the bottom of the grille. And I don't know, I guess they would be pretty functional, but I think they did it for looks. Now all the 65s, except for the 6-cylinder, they had the engine number on the front fender like that, even the 283. The Super Sports came with the Super Sport script on the fender like this. The regular Impala, it just had the word Impala with a round circle with Impala on it, which both of them are really cool. And they carried that over into 66 also. It was the same. The mirrors had the little bow tie emblem on them. I think that's really cool. And I know a lot of other year Impalas had that too, but it just adds to the extra little touches. And they handled the script very similar on the back, but because it's on the black background, they put it on a silver with black letters instead of black with silver letters. And the SS they kept kind of small. And the word Chevrolet in the middle is chrome, where on the non-Super Sport model it's aluminum with black writing on it. I just think they made a lot of nice touches to the 65. The roof line of the 64, it was cool also, but it was more of a classic look to me. It had the notches in it, kind of mimicking a convertible. And on 65 Impalas, you could get your antenna on the front or the back. This car actually came with one on the passenger side back, and it was a little straighter than that. I went with the antenna from the 61, 62 model and put the duals on. I just think it looks nice with two of them. But another one of the great features of the 65 Impala is the interior. And the Super Sport I like the best of all. It has this Y-shaped pattern in the stitching of the seats, and I think it really looks custom. It's a really nice addition to the look of the car. And as they did in earlier years, they had the speaker grill in the middle with the Impala emblem. And you can see the front seats also had the Y pattern in them, and these had the lower backs than the later years. 65 Impala bucket seats were 1 year only. Frame and the mounts that they go on, they're really hard to find if you have to find some. And of course the console in the 65 is really nice looking. This is an automatic power glide. It looked the same with the 400 automatic. The 4-speed console, it looked similar, but it just had the 4-speed shifter. It's kind of offset to the driver's side. And one of the other nice features of a 65 is these round gauge clusters. A lot of people say they like these. This was also to me one of the cool things that reasons that I bought it. And if you look at the door panel of the Super Sport 65, it has that nice chrome strip that comes down and has the Super Sport emblem in the middle of it. Very nice also. Alright, the Super Sport models came with the 4-gauge cluster. It's a fuel, amps, temperature, and oil. And the regular cars didn't come with all those gauges. They came with a lot of dummy lights, but they still had the same design. It was very cool. This particular one has the manifold vacuum gauge, which is really cool. I've never had a car that had that before. Then you got the steering wheel, which is really cool also. The nice chrome horn ring, which a lot of them had that. The button was a little different on this one. It's kind of a silver reflective lens that goes around there. It's made out of some type of plastic, but it looks really good. And it has the gold Impala in the middle of it. Then we've got the engine compartment. My car has the 283 in it. I had this engine really clean and it looked perfect. I had it out of the car. Then I did all the body work and paint and got dust all over everything. So it's still a little dusty. I haven't cleaned it back up. Plus I drive this car quite a bit. But what was great about 65 is they had so many different engine options. And you could get any of the engines in any of the models. You just had to order them. The Super Sport, you could get those all the way from the 6-cylinder up to the 409. So that's another really cool thing about 65 Impalas. They had so many different options on the engines. They had the 6-cylinder, they had a 283, the 327. The 396 came later in the year after February is what I've been told, or what I've read. Before February, as far as big blocks, you could get the 409. So you had two different generations of big blocks that came in 65s. That's the only year Impala that had that available. So now you've heard my reason why I think the 65 Impala is the best year Impala. I'm sure other people have other opinions. So go ahead and give me your opinions on what you think is the best year Impala, or why you agree with me or why you disagree with me. Anyway, I'd like for everybody who can to like and subscribe and let me know what you think about my videos. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.